Hello guys and welcome back to the channel for the weekend roundup, the last weekend roundup of the season. Starting off, I'm going to introduce things of what I'm going to do going forward for the next couple of weeks. Obviously because we have like 4 weeks until the Euros start, I believe. It's just under 4 weeks, like 3 weeks till the Euros start, and what the plan for the Euros will be. And the main plan in my head right now is to be doing basically a weekend roundup every single day. We'll be doing an individual day roundup to round up how each day goes during the Euros. I think that's the most exciting way to do it, and the most up-to-date way of doing it, and keeping on track of how things have happened. Uploading a video before the next day starts, and then you guys can have a little roundup. If you missed a day of the Euros, there you go, watch my video and you're into it straight away. But we're going to the weekend roundup now, and if you've not been here before, the weekend roundup, we go through all of the Premier League games in detail, and then go across Europe's top 5 leagues and the lower leagues in England and how they're doing in a brief, quick passage, and then follow my team in a week in the Premier League and my topic of the week, with the topic of the week this week being the Premier League season review and how the season has gone. But we're going to start things off with that title race. I'm going to start with that Arsenal-Everton. Arsenal needing a win this game, and they got it 2-1, but we're not about, a bit of fear in them. A massive deflection from a guy. Free kick, nods it past Raya. 1-0 up Everton, and City fans were in a happy place. Tomiyasu fought back, got 1-1, and then Havertz with a winner late on. And a lot of people were talking about it being handball on Jesus, but Jesus could not have moved his hand further out of the way. It hit his hand, his hand's here, it hits him. It should have been a goal. It was a goal. Thank God it was a goal, because VAR is driving me insane. It's driving Wolves insane as well, but we'll get to that in a second. Manchester City against West Ham though. This was the important one. If City win this game, they win the league. That's all they needed to do. And they go 1-0 up within 3 minutes because Foden just scores an absolute banger. And it's what a way to start the game. And Foden gets a second one as well, puts them 2-0 up, but without Kudus. Oh my God, what a goal he scored. Nods it up for himself and scores an overhead kick on his own. Unbelievable stuff. 2-1. And things were looking a bit shaky for City. Ariel was making a lot of good saves. Haaland was stinking the gaff up, as he has been doing in these important games, stinking the gaff up. So Mr. Reliable came in, Rodri, and scored a very important goal for City, as he does. He comes in these moments and he does what's needed, and City went on to win the league. Either way, today was going to be a painful day for me. It was a painful day in that way. So pain. Love the pain. Thank you very much. In other ways, Liverpool against Wolves was Klopp's farewell tour coming to an end. It is the last game for Jurgen Klopp as Liverpool manager. As we know, Arne Slot is now going to take that role as Liverpool boss, and Liverpool win it 2-0. A nice and easy ride to the final, final day of Klopp. And it was just a big farewell tour, to be honest. Wolves obviously had a few VAR decisions go against them, hence why they've had this VAR statement come out. The Premier League refs aren't going to go in their favour now, because they've gone, oh, we don't like you. So the refs are going, well, we don't like you either, mate. It's stupid. It is very stupid. Palace versus Villa. Villa on a happy place right now. They've gone into the Champions League. They know they're playing Champions League football next year. But I think this game shows how much they need a bit more depth in their team, because Palace walked the floor with them. Mateta, or should I say R9, M9, whatever you want to call him, that guy is on fire under Glasgow. They are cooking under Glasgow, because Mateta got a hat-trick, Eze got 2, and Palace won 5-0 against Villa. Villa started the season on a poor bit of form, getting smashed by Newcastle, and they've finished the season on a poor bit of form, getting smashed by Palace. But they've got what they need. They got Champions League football. They could have done with a European trophy in the Conference League, but now it's an Olympiacos versus Fiorentina final, which we'll do my preview of next week. But that's next week. We don't have to worry about that yet, guys. Come on. Sheffield United versus Spurs. Spurs obviously now not getting that Champions League spot, but they still had to confirm that Europa League spot as well, because the chasing pack had been chasing them. Spurs, Kulusevski did the job, did dirty work, did what was needed for the team, getting the 2 goals and pushing on. And Ange said he's not happy with how they finished the season. He's not happy with the season goals. And in all fairness, I like his confidence. He said, "If you're not first, what's the point?" And I like that. I do kind of like that. It's a good mentality that I like. I like that about Ange. So fair play. 3-0 win. Sheffield United, goodbye. Worst ever, most goals conceded in a Premier League history. That is terrible. It was a terrible season. Thank God Sheffield United out of the league. Chelsea versus Bournemouth. Chelsea chasing down that other Europa League spot and getting it with a 2-1 win. An unbelievable goal from Caicedo from the halfway line. His first goal for Chelsea. And what a goal it was. Sterling finding a bit his feet again on the way Poch is wanting to play, but I'm not too sure you'll see him too much next year. And a lucky deflection from Enes Unal off Badiashile going into the back of the net to make it 2-1. But Chelsea won 2-1, so they'll take it. They got the Europa League spot, potentially, unless United win the FA Cup, which hopefully we do. If United win the FA Cup, they get Conference League, but Chelsea are in Europe next year. They've got it confirmed. And then the second one, the last one to confirm Europe, well, try and confirm it, depends on that FA Cup result, was Newcastle, who played Brentford. Obviously not on a great bit of form this season. Tony has now 13 games without a goal, and he continued it in this game as well. Visser is the man, and Visser showed he was the man with a goal and an assist, but it was not enough because Newcastle scored 4. Isak and Bruno G doing the dirty work, doing a bit of here, there and everywhere. And they've, if United don't win the FA Cup, then Newcastle have got Europe as well. I kind of don't want Europe next year, but I need to win the FA Cup. I need us to win the FA Cup. I cannot get beat by City 2 years in a row in the FA Cup final. It would kill me. But anyway, on to Newcastle still anyway. 85 Premier League goals this year. Only 3 teams have scored more, and that is the top 3. That was City, Arsenal and Liverpool. They're the only ones that have scored more than Newcastle this year. Newcastle have been on free scoring form, and it's good to see, and hopefully to keep it up next year. It's the most goals they've ever scored in a Premier League season, which is crazy stuff. United obviously had to do what they had to do to try and still get Europe, and they did win their game 2-0. The De Zerbi farewell tour did not end how the Klopp farewell tour did. It ended in a bit more tears, a bit more anguish, and it wasn't an agreement of leaving. It was more of a, these guys aren't working for each other anymore. It's not happening. Barco gave us a bit of trouble, and our net must have been protected by some voodoo curse. I tell you, the amount of off the line clearances and saves we made, and just these last minute ditches and blocks and just whatever came in the way. Brighton could not find the back of the net. It was just cursed for him. Casemiro making a few blocks in the way, and I really rated his performance. But a clean sheet, it's been nice. It's been nice to see a clean sheet, because it's been a while since I've seen a clean sheet. We didn't get one against Burnley or Sheffield. They even gave the game. But, Højlund came on, and the game just changed for it. The game just changed. Dalot got a goal, Højlund got a goal, and it was nice stuff to see. There's only 2 more games left, and they were both the relegation teams. Luton versus Fulham. Luton needed to win 13-0 to have a chance of staying up, and they didn't manage it, but it was a 4-2. It was a sad farewell. I wanted Luton to stay up in the league. I did want Luton to stay in the league, because it's just a cool little team to have in the league, and it's nice. Maybe because we did the double against them. It's why I want to keep them potentially. But it was a goodbye. It is a goodbye. Fulham had a good game, but showed that the class isn't always there with that 2 goals conceded by Luton. They might struggle next year. I think Brentford are going to be the one that struggle the most next year, but Fulham might struggle as well. We'll see how we do that in my pre-season predictions that I do next year. We're going to go through my pre-season prediction for this year at the end of this video. Forest winning their game, securing their place in the Premier League with the lowest ever points to survive. Wood punishing his former team with the 2 goals there. Now on to my team of the week. Sorry, that was a really quick talk about Burnley. We're going to go in goal. We're going to go with Areola. Made loads. He made so many saves against City. It wasn't enough because he conceded 3 still, but the amount of saves, 9 saves, that's mental. I think that deserves a bit of appreciation for Areola. In the defence, I've gone with Dalot and Porro and Casemiro. It's a very weak defence, I know, but I only picked 3 defenders, and then the 3 defenders, I said Casemiro made all the blocks, and then Dalot and Porro getting goals. I could have put Kwanzaa in, but I don't want to give love to Liverpool on Klopp's leaving tour. I'm alright. Midfield's 4. The 4 midfielders I picked, I've gone with Bruno G, Foden, Bernardo Silva and Eberici Eze, who were all involved in plenty of good goals this weekend and deserve the appreciation that I'm giving them right now. And the front 3, Mateta obviously had to get into this team, a hat-trick, Kulusevski with a nice 2 goals, and Højlund, I said the game changed when he came on, so I have to give him some credit. In terms of the top 5 leagues in the lower leagues of England, Crawley promoted to League One and also League 1, and then one of my French, Oxford promoted to the Championship ahead of Bolton. Bolton somehow not promoted to the Championship, even though they had probably the biggest wage bill, the best team in the league, and they've shown it's not all about that. It's not all about that. Sometimes it's other things happen in football, and other things have happened, and now Oxford are going to be playing Championship football next year. It's going to be interesting. Leeds versus Southampton is now confirmed to be the Championship playoff final. We're going to see Leeds or Southampton return to the Premier League, and I really hope it's Southampton. I really do hope it's Southampton. I still want it to be Leeds. I like Southampton. I always like Southampton. This is not a Leeds hate talk. This is a Southampton like talk. I do like Southampton being in the Premier League. I feel like they are a Premier League standard team. Leeds, you're just not anymore. You're just not. You're a Championship level team, so stay down there. Bundesliga time now, and Leverkusen complete their invincible season, and they march on to that Europa League final that I did my preview for yesterday, despite it not being on Wednesday, just because of how the schedules are all lining up right now. But yeah, marching on to that Europa League final against Atalanta, which, you want to know how it's going to finish? Go check my video out yesterday. That's what it's about, guys. Bayern finished 3rd in the 2-horse race, and Harry Kane and Dyer have seen that one before, haven't they? Lose on the final day, Stuttgart win, and Bayern finished 3rd. They are going to get Champions League football next year, but they're not going to be happy about it, and Tuchel is leaving out that door. De Zerbi's probably going to go into the door now that he's leaving Brighton, but I don't think they're going to do anything with that, and I feel like Xabi Alonso will win the Bundesliga again next year. I can't see him doing it as an invincible season again, but back-to-back invincible seasons, and my God, he'd have an argument for being one of the GOATs in managerial history, despite only having 3 seasons in managerial career. Roy scores in his farewell tour for Dortmund as well, as they win 4-0 in their last game at home, with Royce obviously got a massive game coming up in that Champions League final, which I'll do my preview for next week, guys, when the game happens. In La Liga, Sorloth scores 4. There's still one more week in La Liga, but Sorloth scores 4 to become the top goal scorer against Real Madrid. 4-4 that game was, and Sorloth was carrying Villarreal. I can see Prem teams taking the ride towards him. Palace obviously had him a few years ago. It didn't work out at Palace, and obviously Mateta's doing bits at Palace right now, but I can see a few of them lower side Premier League teams going, oh, might have a bit of that, because that's 6'5" Norwegian stuff. It kind of works, doesn't it? We've seen it in the Premier League quite a bit. Ligue 1 Brest confirm their Champions League space for next year, a win there. Mbappe gives a farewell, and Lacazette gets a 96-minute to win Lyon a game to try and push for Europe, but nothing good for it. But yeah, Brest into the Champions League next year. That's going to be an interesting one to see how they do, especially with the new layout of the Champions League. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting season next season with the new layout for the Champions League. 8 games in the thing, and we'll see more big high matches in the group league stage, whatever you want to call it. Syria and Inter just taking it easy to the end. They've taken their foot off their gas, rightly so, drawing a game this weekend, and they've just not cared as much since they've won the league, which is fair play. You've won the league. AC Milan beaten by Torino. It's everyone's kind of taking the foot off the gas in the league, but Atalanta get good prep in before that Leverkusen game with Skamaka getting a goal in a 2-0 win. It is going to be an interesting Europa League final. I'm looking forward to it on Wednesday. But that is the end of the top 5 league talk. It's not enough to talk about because it is the end of the season. A lot of things have already happened and nothing went crazy. I think the league to watch was the Bundesliga. You know, out of them 4 leagues that's went through, then the Bundesliga has been the one to watch all season. It's been goals galore, week in, week out, but there's still one more week in La Liga, so take your eyes to that, because it's worth taking your eyes to it. Now we're getting on to my early predictions for the season, and they're going to be on the screen now. United to finish top of the league. Yeah, I'm biased, man. What can you say? City obviously won the league. I'd say to finish second. So let's face it, because of my bias, I'd say it's in the league, which is really depressing. But City go on to win the league. Arsenal obviously second. I had Chelsea finishing in the top 4. They got Europe in the end, but not quite top 4. Newcastle again, you know, a few places behind where I actually thought they were going to be. Villa overachieved what I thought they were going to do, but getting that Champions League spot is going to be cool. I thought they were going to go into Europa League next year and then win the Europa League under Emre. Obviously there's no drop down into the Europa League anymore, so it's one of them. Emre's going to be wanting to get that Europa League spot, because Villa aren't on the Champions League level yet, but it will be cool to see if Villa can go far in the Champions League next year. Fingers crossed that they do. I do want Villa to do well in the Champions League next year. Liverpool doing a lot better than I thought they were going to do. Who else have I got here? Brighton doing a lot worse than I thought they were going to do this season, and surprisingly, because it kind of all shifted towards the end. United doing a lot worse than I thought they were going to do in this season as well. Obviously at United first, we finished 8th in our worst ever season. It's just tiring, man. It's just tiring. Why do I do this to myself? Brentford finishing exactly where I thought they were going to finish, which is a weird one. Wolves massively overachieving for what I thought they were going to finish if we could get relegated, but no, they did not get relegated. Who else did anything major? Fulham didn't finish too far from where... Oh no, Fulham did. It was Forest, Everton. No one's really done... You know, it is a poor prediction. Hopefully we get the predictions a bit better next year. We'll wait and see. And then on to my predictions for who I thought was going to be player of the season and all that balagi. Obviously, I had player of the season. I thought it was going to be Haaland, but it ended up being Foden. I mean, that's fair. Golden boot. I thought it was going to be Haaland. It was Haaland. I predict Haaland next year if he stays in Premier League. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he gets out of there. I thought Bruno was getting the most assists. He tried towards the end of the season to try and get more assists under his belt, but Watkins takes that one home with him. I thought signing the season was Tonali. The way I watched Tonali, the way he was getting involved in the play, I was like, this guy was mint. He looks like he's going to be the real deal for Newcastle, but he just likes a bit of... He looks like an actor too much. I think Palmer, in my eyes, would be player of the signing of the season. You know, he won Young Player of the Season, and he's come in, he's done wonders for Chelsea and helped them get into Europe again, which we were missing this year. So yeah, Palmer, signing of the season. I said Caicedo was flop of the season at 115 mil. I know he's been a bit consistent towards the end of the season, but a bit consistent for 115 mil. I kind of want a bit better than that. I'm going to judge it how people judge Pogba. I'm going to keep that bias towards you. Thank you for that. I had Adingra as the one to watch, and you know, if you've been watching Adingra this year, you'll understand Adingra was the one to watch this year. Won an AFCON, so you know, he had a good season, but also it was just fun to watch. Adingra's been good all season, and if you've not seen it, go see it. It's worth it. But yeah, that is the end of this series for this season, guys. I do thank you for joining me on this journey. If you like the video, please leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, because there's more on the channel all the time. But the next time you'll see me is for the Europa. Well, you'll see me. I upload every day, but I mean, the next time we'll see any sort of video like this, where it's just me talking about the football, giving like a news roundup, will be for the Euros. But before the Euros, I will put out... I'm going to do a little challenge. As you can see, my hair's been getting a lot shaggier recently, and I'm doing a bet with myself. I've said if England win the Euros, I'm going to give myself a stupid haircut, and I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Comment any haircut, any iconic football haircut, and I will contemplate getting it on myself if England win the Euros. Just put it in the comments, guys. A really stupid one, a really cool one. I'm not bothered. I will put it up to a vote on one of my pages, and people can vote, but that is how I'm going to end this video, is by telling you to comment below ex-footballer's iconic haircut that I should get if England win the Euros. But yeah, that is the end of the video now, guys, so if you do, thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.